Well, it's like everything else. They dig so far, they end up finding themselves, Carl, right? And everything backfires on them, right? Russia ended up backfiring on them, and every other political stunt ended up backfiring on them. And this is because, frankly, my father's running away in the polls. You see it better than anybody. I mean, New York Times Siena poll 2 days ago has him winning in 5 out of 6 battleground states, which means he gets over 300 electoral, points, meaning he's the next president of the United States. And it drives him crazy, which is why they're orchestrating all this madness. They're trying to throw my father in jail. They're trying to deprive him of his company. And, Carl, it's deeply personal to me. You know me better than anybody, and you know I run the company. And we have an unbelievable company. We have some of the greatest assets anywhere in the world. We have never missed a payment. We have never defaulted on a note. We've never gotten so much as a default notice. We've never broken a loan covenant. And every single one of our lenders has gone out and testified that we're one of the greatest borrowers they've ever had. We go out, we buy trophy properties, we put a tremendous amount of our own equity into it. We've never had a default. We've never breached a covenant in any loan document. We are amazing borrowers. And you have an attorney general in New York who literally values Mar-a-Lago, which is one of the most expensive properties in the world, at $18 million. I mean, that's what we're up against right now. People see it as a sham. They see what's happening in the courtroom. My father's being told not to talk. I don't care about your opinion. I don't want to hear your opinion. And people understand exactly what this is. And what's really interesting, Carl, is they never go to Republican areas to do this. Why is it that the deepest, darkest blue areas, are always the places that go after Donald Trump? And, does it ever feel like sometimes these people are being handpicked to persecute my father? I mean, it certainly does to me. It's not coincidence after the 97th time. And that's what they're doing here. But what they don't realize is there's thousands of employees that I have. These are great, hardworking New Yorkers. And literally, I have people calling me at night saying, hey, am I going to lose my job? Am I going to have a job in 2 weeks? And the games that these people are playing for political reasons it's horrible. They're unthinkable, and it's frankly un-American.
Yeah. Well, it was actually Maggie Haberman was even surprised by your dad's testimony, claiming that she didn't expect him to take any ownership and was surprised that he didn't distance himself. And look, you guys distanced yourself to some extent because obviously, you were telling exactly what your involvement was at certain times, dating back sometimes 10, 20 years. This was a chance for your father to really kind of get on stand, talk about what the real stuff was, and he was blocked from saying that. What does this say to judges everywhere in America who are watching the public pressure on this judge and saying, I don't want to turn out like that guy? Do you think this is going to influence the judicial system based on public opinion for the first time, I think, ever?
I mean, Carl, I think all you want them to do is be honest. Under any other court and any other judge, this thing would have been thrown out in day one. You know why? Because there's no victims. In fact, the very people that they're claiming are victims are testifying on the stand saying that we're, again, one of the best lenders they've ever had. I mean, Deutsche Bank, for instance, testified that they made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off of Trump. We're great borrowers. We delivered these projects. We did an unbelievable job. Yeah. And it's really interesting. I mean, the Attorney General, who literally campaigned on the promise of taking down Donald Trump, he brought Don and I into it, and Ivanka, because she could sit in the courtroom for one extra day and fundraise off the fact that we were on the stand when every single accounting firm said we had nothing to do with this case. We never worked on a personal statement of financial condition because why would we, right? Why would we work on I'm out there, and you know this better than anybody because you know me extremely well, but I'm building hotels, and I'm building golf courses, and I'm acquiring properties. You think I'm doing back office functions? But despite that, all the accountants, all the controllers, all the outside accounting firms, despite the fact that every single one of them has testified to the fact that Don had nothing to do with this case, Ivanka had nothing to do with this case, I have nothing to do with this case, they drag us in because they want the collateral damage of naming as many Trumps as humanly possible. And, last but not least, Carl, I think the reason my father's taking ownership of it is frankly, the numbers are low. Mar-a-Lago is one of the most valuable properties in the world. The portfolio is undervalued. It's not overvalued. It's undervalued in the statement of financial condition. The amount of assets that aren't on the developments, zoning entitlements, different things that weren't even included in the statement of financial conditions. How about my father's brand, which is probably his greatest asset? It wasn't listed. It wasn't mentioned. But these facts don't matter to the judge. And by the way, one other thing, Carl, you've got 3 pages of disclaimers, which are, these are our values. These are what we believe our properties are worth. If you have differing values, go out and do your own appraisals or go do your own work. Don't take our word for it. Do your own due diligence, which every bank has to do because they're regulated institutions. You think Deutsche Bank can take Donald Trump's word for what his net worth is, and of course they can't. They'd be out of business the next day, if they did that to everybody in the country. If, Carl, how much is your house worth? Okay, I'm going to give you that amount. Of course they can't take somebody's word for it. They do their own due diligence. But, again, logic and facts don't matter in a court. That's purely political. And that's the sham that my father has dealt with and that I'm dealing with. And since he came down that golden escalator.
Well, and Eric, I will say just before I let you go that I remember talking to you during COVID, and your primary concern was making sure that every single one of your employees kept their jobs so they could pay their mortgages and things like that. And it's a real testament to you and how your company is run. So, Eric Trump, we appreciate being here.
Thanks, Carl.
All right.